a comment here actually. It says, "Has Terry given Dembele Dior his flowers for Sam the fraud trying to make it about?" Well, first and foremost, that's the Sam in his profile picture. I addressed it this morning actually, but I'm going to stand on everything I said about Dembele 5 years ago when people were calling in telling me how good he was. My mind hasn't changed. I don't care about someone's ability by and large. You might like the ability, I might dislike the ability. I saw that he was a talented player, but I judge football players in the same way that he has just won the Balon d'Or on what they deliver. You could have 5 times as much talent as Dembele. If you don't deliver, you don't score, you don't win, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. You could have the most beautiful organic eggs, the best flour known to man, amazing sugar. Unless you know how to mix it together and how to bake it, it's not a fucking cake. It's not a cake yet, just because the ingredients are there. You got to put it all together and make it work. And do you know what I love about Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or? Is the eye test merchants think, "Oh, we won one. We all said he was great." No, you lost. Because if you look at the reasons why his form turned around, it's because he's admitted the interviews are out there. He cut loads of nonsense out of his life, became more professional, worked harder, and dedicated himself to his game more. That is the difference. His talent was always there. But the injury problems, falling out, and he also, by the way, was only the early part of last season where him and Luis Enrique had a coming together, and Enrique disciplined him, but he listened as he's got older. So what I love about him winning is his talent shone through. It was amazing. It was fantastic. And I'm so happy for him. Watching him on stage in tears, you can see all that, I'm sorry to use the kryptonite word to the eye test merchants, but all that hard work that he put in, all that passion, that desire enabled his talent to shine through. And it's great that many of you spotted his talent. We all spotted his talent, but unlike the eye test merchants, I judge footballers, ironically, like the Ballon d'Or does, which they idolize. It's based on performances, consistency, output, and helping your team win major trophies. That's literally what it's judged on. No one's ever won the Ballon d'Or based on ability, ever. It's not part of the judging criteria. So we have to start dropping that as the main source of our analysis in football, because, again, it doesn't exist. It's never been the main key driver. The talent is part of it, but it's everything else that brings that to life that we have to focus on. So well done to Dembele. Absolutely deserves it. I thought he had a fantastic season. And I don't know about you boys. I was looking at it and thinking I felt like he did deserve it. Like, there's a case for Yamal, a case for Mo Salah. I couldn't really make a case for anybody else outside of those two. I don't think there
was a case for Salah. I think it was only ever between Dembele and Yamal.
Oh, why not though? Salah's numbers were unbelievable last season.
It's not just about that. It's not just about that. You know, I think Salah's Ballon d'Or charge ended when Liverpool got knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16. Yeah, and before they got knocked out, I was shouting Salah for the Ballon d'Or because at the time it was 7-1. I thought that was crazy. But as soon as you get knocked out of the Champions League at the quarterfinal, you ain't winning it.
Too early, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was always between Yamal and Dembele for me. I don't think you can really I'm not really that bothered which one won it. I think Yamal is the best player in the world. Yeah, I think he is the best player in the world. But Dembele's numbers, add that to the treble. It's
different, isn't it? You know, Liverpool and Salah, great season last year, but when you're looking at a player that's doing well and playing in the Champions League finals and winning them, you know, and also winning their respective league, etc., it's going one way, innit? I'm sorry, it's just you're right about the Salah thing. Great season, but I'm not really too surprised that Dembele's got it. To be fair dues to him, deserved it this season or last rather.
Yeah. No, listen, I think you guys have said I overly disagree with. It was between those individuals, and yeah, Dembele had an absolutely fantastic season. Really happy for the lad, and it should be youngsters need to take this message because there's so much talent. I think it's even easier in the modern day game to allow the money and the fame and the success you get very early from a financial standpoint to distract you, because there are footballers that were striving to get to Ballon d'Or level, striving to get to title-winning level in their late 20s. It still didn't have that much money when I grew up watching, and even into the 2000s. There was money, but it wasn't like it is now. And I think it's very easy to get distracted. And I can't wait to read. If he keeps on doing this, Dembele, for another few years, I cannot wait to read his books. I cannot wait to read what it is that turned his career around, because I can guarantee you he won't be writing things like, yeah, I just had all this ability and I knew one day it would click. The words he's going to be talking about is hard work, determination, dedication, sacrifice, cutting idiots out of his life. You probably find diet was a part of it, staying up late. I mean, I stay up late, but I'm a 39-year-old man that doesn't have to run around on a football pitch. But the amount of Giggs spoke about it in his career, that driving like flashy sports cars, we knew why he was doing that. He was out there on a Raz, weren't he? Right? You know what I mean? Rizzing it up on town. But he had to get rid of those cars because it was damaging his hamstrings, as an example. Imagine like Giggs at like 29 was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep sitting in these sports cars because I like them. He would never, I mean, he already achieved brilliant things by 29, but he wouldn't have won 4 or 5 more Prems, more Champions Leagues, more FA Cups, and played till he was 40, which is an amazing achievement. If he'd have just gone, I'm just going to do what I want. I think to achieve what Dembele did, I can't wait to read about what actually went into it, because I think youngsters need to learn from that, because it doesn't matter how talented you are. You see it in YouTube. LB, you and me know a lot of really good YouTubers, you know, and I look at someone, I'm going to shout out Saeed. I give a great example about Saeed. Always had the talent, funny, great conversationalist, everything. The last couple of years, a cynic would say United being bad has helped his channel. And it will play a part because it helps all of us. I'm very aware of that. It helped me. But the reason why Saeed has blown up is because it's consistency and hard work every day. If he was just doing 1 stream a week with the same talent, or 1 to 2 a month, he wouldn't have blown up. He wouldn't be doing what he's doing now. It's the hard work, the consistency, the dedication, the sacrifice. The amount of times he's probably got mates going out, I can't, got a watch along, can't, I've got a panel show, can't, I've got to make content. That is what gets you to the top. The talent is a small part of it. It's the hard work that gets you to where you want to be. And I actually think, again, in the football conversation, that's why I think it's important. You know, all these influencers out there talking about ability. You're pushing the wrong message to these young, impressionable football players. Great to have good ability, but if you ain't got the work rate to go with it, you're fucked, bruv. You're fucked. You're doing nothing in life. So well done, Dembele.
You know, that reminds me of, just quickly, all the ability and poor attitude and that. Remember you had Ravel Morrison? What a player. Just his attitude absolutely stank. No work rate. And look at him. He made nothing of himself. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it always makes me sad to see what happens to it. Listen, and maybe he's happy with his life, but I just, you know, I don't want to judge him as a man. But yeah, he was quality. The fact that he was more talented than Paul Pogba in us, like I remember watching that youth team play. He was just on a different stratosphere. Yeah. Potentially the most talented player to ever come out of our academy. He really was. And yeah, this man was he was in the Man United first team squad. I was still living in Manchester, I think then. No, maybe I was back in London by then. But I remember he was meant to play he's going to be in the League Cup game. And then started going around. Do you know what it was? I was living back in London, but I was working in Manchester a lot with the bank. And it was like going around on the ground up in Manchester. Oh, he's out of the squad now. Why? Well, he got caught last night. A friend of his was during court, and him and a mate went to intimidate a witness. And I'm sitting there like, you're a Man United footballer and you're out intimidating witnesses. Like, I get you standing on business for your friends, but you know, you sort of look at it and it's like, I don't know his friends. Maybe they've all grown up, but I looked at it like, how is his mates letting him do that? Like, if I had a friend that was that good at the sport and anything was going down, he'd be, listen, bruv, don't you come. You're about to move to the next level at football or acting or singing or boxing, whatever it is. Like, don't come out of us. Like, you need the right people around you, man. Ravel, what a player, though. What a player. This hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work every day. Ndombele 5 years ago plus Man United environment equals Rashford 2.0. Look, Rashford obviously got a lot of critics today from Paul Scholes. I don't necessarily, I didn't really like Scholes' attitude. I think Man United, we always focus on the end result. We're never focusing on the true root cause problems at our club. It's always a player's a problem or the manager's the problem. And although they do things wrong and make mistakes, it's always been a bigger and deeper issue. And the proof's in and it does, I don't want to sound horrible in case it's any of your friends talk like this. And it's not my intention. But it annoys me that we have these such basic conversations about United because the proof's there. We've got rid of loads of players, sacked loads of managers. We haven't got better. So the idea that it's these little things, it's just, logic tells you it's stupid. Hey, Terry, sorry, slightly changing the subject. Do you think we still should have an award for referees? or we could call it the Balon d'Or.
Absolutely.
I like that. This is a comment from earlier, though, just back to Chelsea slightly. It says Palmer injured, Chelsea are done. I mean, Palmer out injured as well. What did you make of that, Dan? Because he had a knock. He was played by Maresca. Could have been taken off when he took Neto off, kept him on. Looks like he's done his groin again. And that's a couple of injuries now in a short space of time for Palmer, who is so important for Chelsea.
It was tempting fate, wasn't he, really? He should have brought him off. And it's come back to bite him. And like I said earlier, with Palmer, Chelsea can win any game of football because he is that special. He can make something happen out of nothing. You know, apart from when I watch Arsenal, if I want to watch a player play, I want to watch Cole Palmer. He's excellent, and I think he's going to be one of the best players in the world. He's someone who I could actually see winning a Balon d'Or. He's that good. And I think Chelsea, without him, they will really, really struggle. Whenever he doesn't play, they seem to struggle. So I think it's a big, big loss. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. But look, LB said it before as well, that Chelsea would hit like a brick wall at some point because of last season, how many games they played, plus the Club World Cup. And I think they're already hitting the brick wall right now with the injuries. I think LB said this on the last show when I was with him, that they will start getting more injuries. And it's exactly what's happening. So yeah, I think Chelsea they're going to be in trouble. If Cole Palmer can stay fit majority of the season, I would still tip them to get top 5. But Newcastle right now, they can't seem to score goals. So if Tottenham, I'm expecting Tottenham to be in the top 5. And if Newcastle can start playing a bit better, then Newcastle could be in the top 5 and Chelsea could fall out of it. They're going to be closer to, like, they're going to be in a race for the top 5 as opposed to the race for the top 3 places for me.
Yeah. They've been interesting one to see.
Without Palmer, they're cooked. Without Palmer, they're cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Do we know how long he's out for?
No, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. Maybe some Chelsea fans watching can let us know. But
what injury
is it? I think it was a groin injury.
Yeah, it looked like his groin.
Yeah, there'd be an ice on it, didn't he? Yeah.
Well, these are the next fixtures, right? So before the international break, they've got Brighton and Liverpool. So it's not ideal.
Not
Rain. Is it like 3, 4, 5 weeks or something? Is that
they play Liverpool at home. I hope he's fit for that game.
Yeah, I mean, look, they play both games at home. Actually, Brighton's an interesting one. Ignore Brighton's league position slightly. They've actually played well in a lot of their games. They just haven't killed. They just haven't killed teams off, or they've missed chances and whatever else. They'll give Chelsea a game, even though it's at Stamford Bridge. But it's must win for Chelsea because I'll be honest with you. I know you should never say never in football, but I can't see a world where this current Chelsea team on performances is beating Liverpool unless they massively up the ante on the day, because Liverpool haven't even been good this year in their winning games. And I just can't see it. So, yeah, if they don't beat Brighton, the pressure going into that Liverpool game is massive.
Yeah, it says here, Terry, they reckon it could be 3 to 6 weeks out. But I've just found a quote here from Maresca. Maresca said, it was a problem for a long time. Cole was not 100% ready, but he wanted to play, so we played him. Do you not have to then question the manager, though? I think most people agree that Chelsea are very reliant on Cole Palmer. Do you not then have to question the manager? Is that a good decision? It's not to play a player that is not fully fit and that's not 100% ready, but you're going to play him anyway. Especially when you're so reliant on him.
Well, I think it's one of these things. If the medical team say he's fine, the player says he's fine, and he starts, and the injury happens again, cool.
Yeah,
but like he said, he knows he's not 100%. The player said he's okay. You've made a judgment call. You know, you look at. I know some players play with knocks. There's a difference between having a knock that can then go and already having a muscle pull. When Cunha came back from injury, he was like, I can play against City. I can play. We didn't do it. We didn't do it because, we're going to give you another week of training. You've got to manage it because, again, if you lose him for 6 weeks, it's a lot. I know there's going to be an international break in that, so you get kind of 2 weeks back. But you look at these next couple of games, Chelsea just cannot afford to lose these games. They cannot be going into the international break on 8 or 9 points after the first 7 games, because how far are they going to be behind the top? How far are they going to be behind top 4 by then? It's going to be an uphill struggle, and they big. Could end up being a massive mistake. It says here, he says, Mersk on Palmer, the solution for Cole. I don't know. Now we have to have a meeting with the medical team and we decide the best solution for him. I mean, that sounds like it might be surgery. I mean, just reading between the lines.
I've just typed in on Twitter Palmer injury, and one guy's saying that they reckon it might be a groin hernia or something. Which apparently, if it's that, then he has to have surgery. So,
well, yeah, with a hernia, yeah. Well, you know about you're a PT, Dan. Like that kind of hernia is a
that's what I'm saying. That's bad. That's bad. He'll be out for a long time. If that's the case, he's in big trouble.
No good.
So
good.
Chelsea, Man United might actually finish above Chelsea.
Well, I ain't getting that, buddy. I ain't getting that far.